No, you can't tell me how to talk either. I talk how me talk. Boom.
You say that, but then I can just cover up your words with farts.
You can't control how I talk.
Just remember that. This whole episode might just be you ripping ass out of your mouth.
Every time, like, what, did he even cuss or anything? Like, we don't know where this episode
I just
is
didn't
going.
feel like hearing his voice this week. Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense.
That's right, America. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Josh.
And this is the lost art of common sense. And this week we'll be asking the deep question, what is happening to the children? I think the children these days are not right. And we'll try to figure out whose fault it is. I mean, so Josh, what is happening to the kids these days? 1 in 4 sees themselves as part of the LGBT. 1 in 5, sorry. 1 in 5 see themselves as part of the LGBTQ community. Obviously, it goes against, just basic nature's rules and laws. So whose fault is it? Is it the parents' fault? Social pressure, the schools, social media. Whose fault is it?
Well, with a problem this big and this widespread, I would have to say that it's a mixture of all of that, because not all teachers are douchebags. Not all schools are horrible cesspools that corrupt children. It's not 100% social media's fault, and it's not 100% the parents' fault. Like, I think a lot of it has to do with social media. I think it's reinforced in the classrooms by these freak-ass teachers that have no business teaching kids. I think it's kind of a social contagion or a fad. I mean, we did have Jenkos in our day.
That's true. And I don't know which is worse.
All this trans uptick in LGBTQ stuff is just this generation's Jenkos. But in the same time, it's also the parents' fault, because obviously they're not paying attention. And I think it has a lot to do with social media, video games, stuff like that. That, not that I'm against any of it, but I think a lot of people grew up on it, and that's all they know. And like we said many times before, when they're not on some type of digital platform, I don't think there's much to that person. I think they're kind of an empty shell. They have this persona that they put forward on the internet, and then when they're off the internet, there's not much to them, because a lot of these people might not participate in extracurricular activities, might not have any actual or a whole lot of person-to-person friends. And then the parents just don't pay attention to that shit. I think they're checked out. So it's a cultural thing and a technological thing, really. That's what that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, the problem is the difference between Chinkos and being trans is Jinkos didn't do irreparable damage to your body.
Didn't they though?
They did irreparable damage to your social life and to your adulthood if that picture ever got out of you wearing Jinkos. Yes.
I mean,
but you could still have children.
We had a friend that wore them, and I'll never forget that or let that go.
No, people don't.
That's why the chain wallets came back in place, because if you actually just dropped your wallet in that back pocket, you weren't getting it.
That was probably that's right. The chain on the wallet is a obvious. Who wouldn't want it?
Other than that very slight difference, it's basically the same.
It's basically the same. I always liked on Superbad. My favorite line in the whole movie is the one where he's like, "People don't forget." It's it's true.
Yep.
So no, I agree. I think I think a lot falls on social media. I think TikTok, anywhere that celebrates these trans people as heroes and tells the lie that there's a genocide going against them, and tries to. I mean, kids are stupid. They can be influenced. The worst part is it's a fad, and you know people are enforcing this fad. It's like if a bunch of kids ate Tide Pods, which they did, then like a whole political party's like, hey, go for it.
You're Tide Podophobic if you're not okay with
Yeah,
kids eating
that's
Tide
right.
Pods.
I mean, so it's not the part that I don't blame the children. They're easily influenced. They're dumb. We were all dumb as
That's
kids.
right, Kevin. They're not dumb or stupid. Children are, like sponges, soaking up and absorbing the information around them. And right now, it's just a bunch of weird shit, and they're making weird ass kids. It's not that they're dumb, Kevin. It's that they're, just easily manipulated, like you said. And they're just soaking in all this dumb shit. And it's, yeah, I guess at a certain point, you do become dumb.
Yeah.
So,
No,
I
I
don't know.
mean,
Maybe they're
you're
dumb.
dumb.
Maybe, I don't know.
No, they're dumb. I mean,
I was trying to stick up and make it. Yeah, I failed horribly.
no, kids are dumb, and they do soak up everything on social media. I mean, I think the reason this hasn't happened is because up until this generation, every generation before it had a time period where they didn't have the internet or it wasn't readily available. This generation has been brought up by the internet. I mean, I'm sure when the TV came out, maybe people were about the same way. Maybe we're just old people that are crotchety. I don't know, but maybe when like the TV, they're like, oh, that damn. I don't know what was that. When there one with the puppet. Oh my god, was he a cowboy
Lamb
puppet?
chops?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. No, it's black and white. When the
Oh, I don't know. Maybe there's a bunch of weird shows back
I don't
then.
know, but I mean, maybe people.
Well,
Like,
because they adapted radio shows for TV.
Yeah, it's like
Back
War
in the
of
day,
Wolves. Yeah.
people gathered around the old sound box in the living room.
Yeah.
Oh
like
no, is he gonna get him? He said he's hiding behind a rock, but we don't know if he really is because we can't see anything.
And I think we had to blame the parents for condoning some of this. I mean,
I think, yeah, I agree with that.
I agree there are gay kids and stuff like that, and you can't you shouldn't be like that redneck hillbilly that's like, get out of my house for being gay. You can't be like that. So, but you shouldn't, like, if somebody's like, hey, I want to cut my genitals off or whatever, you shouldn't be like, yeah, I support you. You should be like, you need to be informed. You need to realize when you're 18 if you really want to do this, because legally you can. Then you should legally at 18 be able to do, I guess, but you shouldn't be able.
You might as well chalk it up to 21 because there's just more and more shit you can't do till you're 21.
You shouldn't do it till you're 26.
I would say whatever your brain stops developing.
Yeah, it's 26.
You were smart, but well, and it's funny. You think it's bullshit that they're raising the age to 21 for like smoking and buying a gun, which that's always been a handgun thing. But people are like way more immature. Like we were stupid, immature, still are.
Yeah.
But people aren't growing up.
No.
Like it's taking them longer and longer to grow up and like literally get a fucking life.
Yeah.
So I get why.
Well, they've been
mental
they've
development's
been raised,
like off.
They've been raised to think that people will just give them shit. Like they don't have to earn their money. The days of like influencers and shit, they feel like they can just become instant, TikTok stars or podcasters or whatever, and not have to work for a living. I mean, I wish that too, but I still have to get up every goddamn morning and go to my job, which sucks.
Any dumbass can go out and start a podcast. Trust me, it's not that hard.
We're perfect proof of this. But
making money at it, it's completely different.
Oh, that is super hard. We're still trying to figure this out. And by the way, we have TikTok accounts. As I'm bitching about them, we have a new TikTok account at Lost Art of Common Sense, and Uh, what's our tag on Instagram?
I think it's Lost Common.
And Lost Comment on Instagram. We've
Let
got
me
some
check
reels
it.
out there
Sure.
and reels, not wheels. I don't know what I said. And we got some TikTok videos out there, so look us up.
Lost Common 1, or I think the Lost Art of Common Sense will probably get you there too.
Yeah, probably. So
The Lost Art of Common Sense.
check those out. Uh, so after explaining that trend, are certain you ready?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know what you're doing, so you're looking at your phone. It's very immature of you.
At least my phone's not vibrating or ringing.
It's not my phone vibrating.
Boom.
All right.
Gross.
What did you think it was? It's my keys. I don't know.
That's the way I don't lose them. What did you
Yeah, that's
think
right.
it was? You're so gross.
It's so gross and immature. Are certain states, schools, and teachers, individual teachers, parents, are they concerned more on social justice than basic schooling? I mean, you know, are parents more concerned about being a social justice person and how inclusive they are and trying to pushing their kids a certain way, and are certain teachers more worried about social justice and being woke than actually teaching whatever, math, English?
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
Well, I mean, depending on certain
Not all
states,
teachers and not all parents, obviously.
well, and it's
but
funny too because it's not all states either. Because like you could be in a pretty, you think, red conservative area and some freak ass teachers in there teaching kids weird shit. I do think that. See, and here's the thing.
But there's certain state legislation that
Yeah. Well, and there's probably any state that's blue, like hard blue. Yeah, they're all about bullshit and not learning. Because you used to like go to high school, you learn the basics so you could at least be a functional adult. That's all high school is fucking for. Now you make friends, you do like experiment stuff because you might want to be a musician, so you're in band. You might have a future in sports, so you play sports, or be an actor, so you're in theater class or any of that shit. That's fine. But like college is where people went off and they're kind of on their own and they're kind of like, I'm going to find me and I'm going to go to class, but I'm also going to like discover myself. They're doing that shit in high school now. You're not there for that. That's why like they have it to where a kid can go to school, go by a different name, change their clothes when they get to school because they're trans, and the parents don't know about it. That bullshit should not be happening in school. I think we need to go back to school uniforms. You are whatever your birth certificate says you are, unless you're one of those dumbasses that literally got a birth certificate that doesn't have a fucking gender on it, which is stupid. And I'm not gonna lie, I think they need to go back to where if kids start acting out in school, they just get whooped at school. I think that was like right before we started going through, but like people used to get their ass whooped by like the principal. Like when you got sent to the office, you got sent to the office with like a note that says how many times they're gonna whoop your ass.
I don't know if that. I mean, I'm sure. I know there's a time. I don't think it was right before we went to school.
It wasn't long. It wasn't long before we did. Hell, I had to do push-ups.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that long before we went to school.
I had to do over 100 push-ups in English class for saying I don't know.
Ass.
I just said I don't know, and then I said I wasn't going to do push-ups, and every time I said I'm not doing that, the number got bigger and bigger, and I think it got out to about 180.
Yeah, so
and I had to do them.
Smart ass.
Yeah. So I'm not saying I didn't deserve it, but that's a form of corporal punishment. That would be considered child abuse.
Yeah.
I never thought that.
No,
So I don't know. I just think society's changed. Whoever's like, and there are probably these dumbass teachers that think they're actually part of something and they're not. They're just like what that one Russian dude said. They're basically like bots they're a means to the end. And like, oh no, this is all sunshine and rainbows and I'm doing the right thing. And they don't realize that they're just a tool to help bring down the culture, because that's all they're doing. They're destroying the culture. And if you don't have a somewhat of a common culture, now granted, we have people from all over the world, but we're all Americans, and now that's going away, and they're breaking down social norms, and it's like you have to have, if you don't have any rules of society, like I have libertarian friends that literally think, oh yeah, you can do whatever the hell you want, and I'm like, I'm cool with that, but at the same time, you have to have social standards, or you're not going to have a society. You can't have just like, I don't know, like all this drag queen bullshit and trans bullshit. Yeah, people did that, but they did it on their own time. And I don't care if somebody wants to do it. But now it's like coming out and like, you have to accept this. I'm like, I don't have to do shit. Just like you don't have to dress like a man if you don't want to. I don't have to be okay with you or be accept you as whoever you're pretending to be.
No, I
That's a
don't have to
two-way
accept
street,
anybody.
buddy.
I
Buddy.
saw there was a school. I can't remember. Was it Delaware? Maybe there's some East Coast school, like Northeast, that is going to segregate between races and genders
Yeah, that sounds about right.
because they're progressive. So, welcome to Jim Crow area, everybody.
The parents allow it. I mean, you could blame most of this shit on Gen X. I'm tired of seeing all these Gen X videos like, yeah, I'm Gen X and we had to, fort kidnappers like 6 times a day and we drink out of water hoses and we were badass. And that's a lot like what it was like growing up. I mean, I'm not saying those aren't true, but then they grew up, had kids, and just like, I'm going to be my kid's buddy because all the stuff that made us us, which is arguably the most tolerant, non-racist generation we've ever had. Not because we're like big, caring, whatever people. It's because we don't give a shit. Like, we don't give a shit what the color of somebody's skin is. It's like, is this a cool person or not? Is this a good person or not? And then they're like, well, I'm not gonna whoop my kids or ground them. I'm gonna be their friend. And I'm gonna be there for them, be supportive. Like, you're not being supportive if you just accept every bullshit thing that they say.
Again,
like,
they're kids. They're dumb. They're going to do dumb shit. You can't just like, hope they learn their lesson. Kids don't learn their goddamn lesson.
Well, not if they don't know that there's any consequences to anything.
So if there's no consequence, they're going to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, I would say like late part of the boomers and Gen X have a big hand in the bullshit that's going on as far as the kid stuff goes, because they're just not all of them, but I mean, you look at like all the stuff like, oh, it's not their fault, social media, who let their kid on social media. Like, you see these little ass kids with cell phones. What the shit? What the hell does a little kid need a fucking cell phone for? Or they'll just like put their kid in front of YouTube shows with weird ass people that do kid shows, and then you find out they're past and they're freaks, but there's a lot of money in putting on, I'm a strange adult talking with a high pitched voice and pretending like I'm an idiot. And there's apparently a lot of money into doing that.
Hello, kids, don't get in the candy van.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it is. I think the dude's name's like Mr. Beast or something.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, we're going to jump in the ball pit.
I don't think it's Mr. Beast. I think Mr. Beast's a video game or a video game person. Beats or whatever.
That's even worse. That's a weird name.
But his partners came out as trans.
Yeah, Marion has a kid and just decided to be trans one day.
Yeah.
Totally destroyed his family.
Now pushing his kids to be in trans, even though he's like 3 years old.
But it's not a choice, Kevin. It's not a choice. Because if it wasn't a choice, then you couldn't be manipulated one way or the other.
Yeah, if you didn't find money in it, I guarantee he wouldn't be trans. Same thing with Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh, that dude's an attention whore, just doing it for the money, period.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, let's get back on it. So,
let's get after it.
Do you think the government, or more specifically, the Democratic Party, see children as a commodity and not as humans?
Yes.
These are good
Stop
answers.
asking yes or no questions, Kevin.
I assume you'll elaborate on your answer.
I think they do, and that's why the left has infiltrated schooling and stuff like that. And even they have affected how parents can raise their kids. Like that one mom, this is a while back, maybe a year or two ago. She had was it CPS? Child
Protective Services, yes.
Called on her because she let like her 8-year-old and 12-year-old maybe. It was something like they're old enough to be on their own because I was pretty young when I got to go out by myself. Again, the Gen X thing. But like, no, they went out to the park just down from their house. and somebody called CPS on her, and she got an interview. So I think there has been stuff that manipulates how it, and then that's how they do it, where they do see them as commodities because they get them young, they indoctrinate them, and then they grow up just total dumbasses, detached from reality. They don't even realize, like, all these dipshits that are like bitching about privilege do not see the privilege that they're literally spewing and is just frothing from them, because you're able to go out and act like a total fucking idiot and it's fine. Where in a lot of other countries, you'd be thrown in prison
Oh
and
yeah.
never seen from again. It's like, don't talk to me about privilege shit. Like, you know, one group can go around and burn down the country, and another group gets goaded into walking around the Capitol, and there's people thrown in solitary confinement for over a year. We are not the same.
We're not the same.
Just saying.
I agree with your points exactly.
And that's not a color thing or a gender thing or a sexuality thing. It's a cultural mindset thing. There are people that believe in the country, a certain social standard, you know, and really achievement through, accomplishment or hard work. And then there's the other side that just bitches.
Speaking of commodity, was it like 80,000 children are being forced into child labor that came across the fucking border?
We don't know that, Kevin. We just know they're missing.
Now, few of them been found working in plants and certain like farms and.
Are they all kids working there? Because wouldn't other coworkers be like, "Man, that dude's short."
We sure do hire a lot of little people around here.
Did we literally find the island of the Oompa Loompas? Because what the fuck?
Hey, I know that kid. He came from my town.
I don't know. That's why I always thought it was weird when Obama did that.
Well,
I don't know if that was a dreamer's thing.
I don't get it though. I mean, why would you just let a child alone into the country?
Because people on the left don't actually give a shit about anybody. Like the higher ups, I'm sure the bleeding heart dumbasses that have no real attachment to reality actually care.
They really don't either. They
care about whatever they're caring about right now.
And they're sociopaths who are just caring to get likes and to look like they care. They don't.
No, but some of them probably believe that they care.
I'm sure they do.
They're just idiots. But they don't care. Like, that's why I thought it was weird when Obama did that thing where it's like, well, our border is not open to illegals, but if you send your kids, we're not going to send them away. I thought that was weird as shit.
That's not something you should say.
Well, no. And then, like, if you were doing some type of child trafficking, whether they're
labor or sexual.
Yeah, and they're both are happening. Yes. Or, like, that's when that chromium conspiracy theory came out, the Black Eye Club. And it had something to do with... It's something that rich people inject themselves with to make them more youthful or live longer. Supposedly, it's a conspiracy theory.
Something that came from children?
Spinal cords from children, supposedly.
Like
I haven't looked into it all that much. I have a buddy that's like super into that shit, so I might have to ask him about it. But
that's QAnon shit.
No, this is before QAnon. Oh. I think maybe right around the time. Hey, not all QAnon shit's straight up bullshit.
No.
Even though I did hear a thing about the Q in QAnon stands for Q clearance, like it's some kind of super special thing. I'm like, that is not as special. That's literally just like you have top secret over here for DOD and you have Q for DOE. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But it's just like you could easily like think about it if you actually were like harvesting organs or whatever. They're undocumented. Their parents could come to the border saying, "What happened to my child?" Nobody knows who the hell they are. Like, it doesn't matter what you need. If you need bodies for whatever, and you're a diabolical piece of shit human being, that's probably the perfect way to do it.
That is the perfect way. I never even thought of that.
All through illegal immigration.
I'm not even thought of that. Yeah. Huh.
Just saying.
Weird.
Shit, I'm getting Clinton. Fuck.
Yeah, you are. You done uncovered it. I mean,
he knows too much.
Be the best way. I mean, I wish I would do some research to see if that actually was. I mean, I wonder how many. Like, there's no way to figure out how many illegal aliens are actually missing.
I mean, just think about it. I don't care if you wanted humans for medical testing, experiments. Doesn't matter what it is. Illegal immigration. You overflood the border, and then people just disappear, and nobody knows they disappear because nobody knows who the fuck they
No,
are.
because if you let in 12,000 people, what's a few hundred missing going to matter?
Yeah, so I'm just saying.
Huh.
I'm just saying.
It's an interesting thought there. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very deep.
Yeah, no, very disturbing, really. Super disturbing. I hope that's not happening. Like,
Sadly, I'm pretty sure it is.
I want to close up our borders, but I mean,
like, have you seen Hostel?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of the things too.
I bet it is.
And that would actually, like, that
it's like
movie
Taken
would work.
Like movie Taken, where they just took.
But the problem with Hostel and Taken is the reason why those failed or whatever is because they were people that were known, like they were on vacation or they were taken on vacation. The illegal immigrants have nobody, so then you wouldn't have what's that guy's name?
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson coming after you 6 times in a row in multiple different kinds of movies that are exactly
actually
the same.
They were he made like 12 movies which were pretty much all the same.
All exactly the same. He had a certain set of skills. It just happened. Those skills just happened to be murdering people.
I mean, he went from Schindler's List to like being typecast as a guy that goes back for revenge for somebody taking his kid for the 8th time.
It's like, you know what? You're old now and you have strangely large hands. We're going to make you a retired CIA agent that just goes around murdering.
Yeah, we're making you an action star. So, and you're a horrible parent because your child keeps getting kidnapped.
Yeah, at some point, who was that? At some point, you just got to admit he's just a bad parent.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
That was from a show or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, just like, maybe he did it on purpose so he can kill people.
Probably. It's like, you know what, Evan?
And why was he never in trouble for doing it?
Because he did it all in foreign countries.
Yeah, but still, foreign countries have to be like, this guy killed like 50 people.
Well, and
I know they were bad people, but you still can't just go around murdering people. Vigilantism is.
Biden would probably extradite. Oh yeah, you can have him. Fuck it.
Oh yeah, no, take him for the. We'll give us.
Did you kidnap one of our illegal immigrants? Yeah. Here's the head of the Taliban that we have in Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much the Biden administration way of bargaining.
Yeah.
So, another thing about children. What do you think about the bill in Florida that if you rape a child, I think it's under 12, you can get the death penalty?
I am totally cool with that.
I think it should be anybody. I think if you rape anybody, you should be able to get the death penalty. I don't think you should just put it under 12. I feel rape is one of them like mortal sins that you should, find your God with.
The only problem is like a rapist,
rape, like aggressive rape, like
yeah. But what I'm saying is like rape takes something from somebody. Like that's something that person's going to carry their whole life.
Yeah,
and just by killing them, then it's over for them.
Yeah, but then we don't have to.
So unless you're going to kill them in like a real fucked up way, I would also be okay
with somebody raping them.
A lobotomy.
Oh,
but not before full castration. I'm not talking about cutting just the balls off. I'm talking about like, hey, you now really are a lady.
You're peeing out of a fucking
eunuch.
Straw. You're peeing out of a hose now.
Yeah, just make them eunuchs, or if it's a lady, I don't know.
I'm sure you can just put a hose there, right? Just so they can piss.
Yeah,
where their dick was. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Lady rapists.
I think they should be.
I hope he's such a sexist. There's ladies that rape too.
Yeah, well, then what? Sew them up?
Probably not as many.
Sew them up or what? I don't know.
But I'm just saying, like, I would be fine with, like, doing something really fucked up to him.
Oh, absolutely. I believe, yeah. I'm cool with them dying.
I mean, I'm cool either way. I'm just saying, like, when someone murders someone or someone rapes something, that is a scar and a trauma that some of them will get to where they can go through life again. But that's always there. And then this person might go to jail for a little bit, or if they get put to death, then it's over for them.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to pay for them to be in fucking jail though.
I think once you give someone a lobotomy, I don't think you have to worry about them doing much.
I don't know. I mean, do they do lobotomies anymore?
Well, you can always start it up again. It's
Like,
not
I
hard.
don't-
You just stick a rod in their eyeball and slosh it around.
I don't think that's exactly how it is. I think it's
I don't even
more-
know if you have to have a degree or a certificate to do that.
You just fucking put it at their eye and just hit a hammer, right? Until it hits their
punch
brain.
it through their skull,
Yeah.
and then they just kind of wiggle it.
Just fuck up the brain a little bit and pull it out.
That's pretty much what they're doing. Apparently, the aggressive part of your brain is somewhere up here. Yeah, so that'd be fine. I'm now. If you go back through the Middle Ages, we did some pretty fucked up shit to people. I wouldn't mind bringing some of that shit back,
I'm good with that too.
like the old wedge.
I think, yeah. If you
Like if
steal-
you're a rapist, you get the wedge. You know what that is? You know what the wedge is, Kevin?
No.
I'm not even sure if it's exactly called a wedge, but it's this metal sharpened like triangle. And the bad person is put over the top of it, one leg on either side, and then they're weighted down until the wedge slowly cuts them in half.
Oh, that is fucked up. Medieval people were geniuses in torture, though.
There wasn't a lot to do.
That's right. Let's see how fucked up we can get killing somebody.
You could actually make the argument that in the lack of television and video games, people had to rely on their imagination, and that's how all this fucked up shit came to be.
That could possibly be right. Man,
I don't like you. I'm going to tie you up to 4 horses and have them run in opposite directions.
Yeah, like this shit is just fucking weird. Like, I think I saw one where they covered them in like sweet stuff and fucking just let flies eat them alive. There's one where they let rats eat through them.
Oh, the hot pan thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the Chinese bamboo torture. That's pretty fucked up, too.
Yeah.
They plant fast-growing bamboo underneath you and tie you to the ground, and the bamboo just grows through your body.
Yeah, fucked up, man.
Ah!
Maybe a pretty bamboo tree.
See, those are all better things than the death penalty for people that rape children.
I mean, eventually they'll die, but, it'll be a slow, agonizing death. Which I'm
that's
cool
what I'm
with.
saying.
Like,
It's like
screw this,
taking- It's like taking a percentage of the shit that their victims are going to have to deal with for the rest of their life and compressing it down into just one thing.
that's
Either that or we need to figure out that thing from Star Trek.
a person on death row can pick how they want to die, right?
I think so.
So if they say, "Hey, I want the wedge,"
It has to be available in your...
oh,
Hey, I'm bringing back the wedge.
like, I don't see why they would.
The gold triangle tickler.
the old taint splitter. All right, yeah. So
The old gooch gapper. That's less fun.
I like that one. Ugh.
How'd you find out the actual name?
The gooch capper. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah,
like,
I'm cool with it.
yeah. So, and I don't think we should. I think a lot of this is like the Epstein thing. I don't think we should differentiate from the elites and the common man on children being, abused or sexually molested or raped or whatever. I mean, I don't care if you're elite or a common person, you should get the same penalty. Speaking of, the Epstein calendar was released, and there's some pretty important names on there. I think a Obama staffer. There was some woman from like a newspaper, like a important newspaper. I can't remember what it is. There was a bunch of people.
Wasn't Chris Tucker on that list?
Yes.
That was weird. I was very surprised, disappointed to find that out.
Yeah, there was a bunch of people that I don't
like. Wasn't it like him, Bill Gates, and Bill Clinton? They flew together a few times.
Yeah, but this is just the calendar of people meeting him.
Oh, I was talking about the flight logs.
No, not the flight logs. This is the calendar that was just released.
Oh.
It had like the CIA director right now was on it. So.
Anybody meeting with that dude was either getting set up for blackmail or being blackmailed. Because I guarantee you, that's how Epstein made his money.
There was an Obama administration employee or like a cabinet member. There was some a dean of a college. There was like a few other ones I saw. I can't remember. I don't have a list in front of me. I forgot to do that part of the episode. But I mean, there was quite a few important people on there. They can't confirm they actually met with him, but they were on the calendar. So I mean, basically, I don't understand why they're not releasing the list.
Because there's a lot of people in power on the list.
I understand why they're not.
Why do you ask dumb questions, Kevin?
I understand why they're not, but I think the public should know. I don't care if it's a fucking full of Republicans. If it is, put them in jail. I mean, anybody that's willing to fucking go to an island to have sex with a minor should go to jail. I don't care if he's a Republican or Democrat or fucking the King of England or the fucking, I don't know, Vladimir Putin or fucking Johnny Smith from fucking West Kansas. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, fuck Johnny Smith from West Kansas.
God, if there's a Johnny Smith from West Kansas that actually hears this, I just made that name up.
But yeah, I mean, if there is one, don't be an asshole. Otherwise, you'll just prove
which is what is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Mm-hmm.
You should all be fucking tried and castrated. Not just chemically, but with the scissors. Clip, clip.
Yeah, I think probably what they did is worse because.
Yeah.
Well, like I think the tail end of your question you never got to because you rambled on for so long. Do I think there is a sex trade for minors among the elite class?
Oh, yeah. Do you think there's a sex trade for minors for the elite class?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if so, what do you think? See, that's how I end my questions, Kevin.
Just because
I'm pointing out how much you suck in this episode. Well, I know. I think there is.
I assume you're going to elaborate. This would be a very fucking short show if you just said yes or no.
I require direction. I am an actor.
We've been doing this for a while.
Direct me, sir. No, I think. I think there is. Like, just from all the weird shit that's not only come out of Hollywood, but like, I don't know. It's just like, and I think Jared from Subway is like a peek through the looking glass at what. That probably had a lot to do with like the people that did the Epstein shit. Now, I think Epstein was running a blackmail scheme. Like, yeah, come to my island. Oh, yeah, I got all these girls, blah, blah, blah. Because everything on his island was recorded. And then once you're over there, now you're, it's the same thing with that Bohemia Grove.
Hey, real quick. Mm-hmm. What did Epstein do to make money?
I have no idea. I think he was.
Was he like a broker?
I think he was some kind of financial person, but I'm pretty sure he was just making all his money from blackmail.
Probably. Okay, that's what I was pretty much trying to allude to.
I mean, I have no idea to that fact, but it just seems like with the people he hung out with and the stuff that it's like that weird ass penny he had at Clinton. Like, it just seems like he set people up to be blackmailed based on,
what was
all
that
the
penny?
stuff.
I remember hearing about it.
I think it was Bill Clinton dressed in a dress.
Yeah.
That's weird. Why would you have that?
It was hanging up in like his apartment, right?
It was hanging up at the bungalow at his island. Like,
it might have been.
Hey, bro, I get drunk to this painting every night. Don't touch it there. That's my favorite spot.
I mean, it is weird. Let's be real.
And he might have been like, hey, Bill, you're going to give me some of that sweet Clinton Foundation money, or this is going to go out in public. He's like, hey, don't do that. I will be your friend. We'll make 2 spots on that painting together.
I mean, how far do you think it does in the elite class? Do you think it spreads to? You think it's celebrities, politicians?
I think it's all the above.
Businessmen.
Rich people. Yeah. I don't know if they're all as sick as that Jared guy, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were. It's just weird. Because I think it seems you get to a certain elite class, and I would know because I don't have that kind of money. They probably just think they can do whatever the hell they want because, like, and you never know, they might justify it in their brain, like, oh, well, I went to Epstein's Island and I'm pretty sure that girl's like 14, but they marry all 14-year-olds in Afghanistan all the time.
Yeah, you're trying to justify your horrible act.
Well, unless you're just a complete narcissist piece of shit, they're having to justify it in their head somehow.
Yeah, and,
Which, let's be honest, they're all narcissistic pieces of shit. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I assume it's probably one of. I mean, what is it like? There's 40 million slaves in the world right now.
yeah, I think they said there's more slaves on the earth right now than there ever has been.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the population grew, but yeah.
still,
It's just something that you
don't
think is
about
gone,
slavery.
and it's not.
Yeah,
and it's
no.
going on in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
It's, I don't know, it's fucking sickening and unreal. And it's all because of the elite assholes, people gaming the system. It's like, you know, everyone talks shit about capitalism. Like, this causes that. I'm like, all the bad shit you're talking about that goes on with capitalism is crony capitalism. People gaming the system, and then they bribe politicians in order that you know, that allows them to do it, and that's how it happens. That's just my uneducated brain just spitting words out.
Yeah, they made sense, so I like it.
Yeah.
So how do we stop sex trafficking from happening? I mean, do you think there's enough politicians in this country that want it to stop? Or do you think the political machine that's running our country is so corrupt that they're turning a blind eye to it or actually a part of it?
I guess that all depends on where the money's coming from and their donors and stuff like that. Because, yeah.
I mean, you'd think anybody with any kind of morals would want it to stop, right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you had any kind of morals, like any kind of, like even shred of goodness in you, you wouldn't want kids to be, you know, horribly traded in the sex trade.
Well, I feel like,
or even people. I don't care, just kids, anybody. I mean,
well, I think stopping sex trafficking is a lot like getting over an addiction to the point that, because it is an addiction, like people like are addicted to exploiting humans for whatever. But you have to admit there's
addiction.
a problem.
Heck, there is a problem.
But like,
I mean,
they say it and story comes out, but it has to be, that has to be a big thing. It has to be brought up like, no, this is a problem and we need to search it out. But like, I don't know, like it might be so jacked at the top that will anything ever really happen other than like, hey, we're going to throw this guy to the wolves, but so we, you know, this guy over here, so we can keep doing our shit over here. I mean, it has to be a huge problem, and there probably has to be some people that haven't been in Washington very long, because there's probably shit on everybody. That's all they do is try to get leverage on somebody. But hey, come over to the party.
Well, you saw a correspondence dinner, right?
No,
why would I see
that?
There was
I heard it was horrible.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's not like Trump didn't attend because, like, well, fuck that. Why would he? You know? Yeah, he's like, the media sucks. But I mean, there's a ton of Republicans that went. And if you're a true Republican, you'd be like, fuck that. You know, the media sucks. And I'm wondering how many people in the media actually know what's happening and are just quiet about it.
I would say anybody who is actually in the media or an elite status knows exactly what's happening. And they either don't give a shit or they're part of it. I'm sure there's a handful of people. I mean, that's how we hear about this stuff. There are people out there that are searching for the truth and trying to expose this stuff, and then they get Clintoned and.
Yeah, I just want to be like, I'd want to join the elite. I'd like to just destroy them all.
Anthony Bourdain and the lead singer of Soundgarden.
What?
Both people committed suicide. Both people were actively going against child trafficking. Just saying.
Yeah.
I would say that might explain what happened to Bob Saget, but I don't think that was a cause he picked up. like
Well, I mean, it's
the
weird.
lead singer
He
of
died of,
Chris something.
I think Bob Saget died of something because he had a large heart.
Yeah, but he had like trauma to his head.
Yeah, well, I think he had a heart attack and died from or
Maybe.
whatever, cardiac arrest.
But Chris something, I think, is his name. But the lead singer of
Cornell.
Soundgarden,
Chris Cornell.
yeah, Chris Cornell and Anthony Bourdain were both like big into like anti going after child trafficking. And then they all of a sudden are like, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to kill myself.
Well, so shit. Trump was against it. I mean, obviously, he was trying to. You think that's why everybody went against him? Well, part of the reason.
I think, yeah, well, I think a lot of it. I think there's so much bullshit in Washington and at the like the elite level that, I mean, think about being at a level where you can literally do whatever the fuck you want. You can buy anything, you can do anything. People get bored and start doing fucked up shit. So yeah, there's probably all kinds of threats going on. Can you imagine if the Lord happens to bless this country one last time and he gets reelected? Because I truly think that there's nobody I can think of that could get elected in 2024 and right the ship at home through policy and cool off the tensions of the world other than Trump. It has nothing to do with being a Trump fan. It's just like he would hit the ground running and you wouldn't have to wait for the onboarding of being a president. But like how much cleaning out would happen if he gets reelected?
You would hope so.
Oh my God. Because I think he didn't really. I don't think he went after the swamp super hard his first term because he wanted to get reelected. As far as like any type of real change or anything in Washington, the most dangerous time for the beast is on a president's second term.
Yeah.
Because at that point, they don't give a shit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Trump is becoming, I don't know, more of a politician, I think.
How's that?
Just not answering questions like he should be. He's not decisive.
I don't know. He does in interviews.
He's not decisive. He says a lot of things like, he doesn't say, like he used to be decisive. Like, yes, I will fuck those people up. Now he's like, well, as long as everybody's happy and, we can work together. And, he's trying to win back people that will never vote for him.
Well, I don't know. He's going to have to do something different because he's going to have to pull.
Well, what you do different is you fucking show videos of Biden, not being able to speak. What you do is you show that fucking Biden was showing political.
I understand you can, yeah, but you can't just do what the other guy does because that's what Republicans do. They say, this guy's doing this guy's doing this. And what Trump is really good at is pointing out a problem and then here's his solution. That's what we need. Here's a problem. Here's my solution.
Yeah, but he's not giving a solution. He's not giving anything. He's not even acknowledging there's a problem for a lot of these things. He's acknowledging that there's that.
He said he's going to close the border and kick out all the illegals on his first day. It's like my first day in office. We're closing the border down and we're going to deport every illegal alien that came in under Biden. That's a pretty decisive answer.
On the border, but that was always his thing.
Yeah.
And that's the easiest thing to go after. Because
I mean, I'm not up to speed on that stuff because I haven't watched a lot of news. I'm still hurting from Tucker Carlson being gone.
Yeah. And
I'm out of touch.
Oh, did you see that MSNBC?
I don't get all my news from TikTok like somebody.
Was it MS? I don't get off TikTok. I just get off from podcasts. I listen to like 5 podcasts a day. Did you see that MSNBC beat Fox News last week in ratings for the first time in like.
That's pretty bad because MSNBC sucks ass.
Yeah.
Like they're horrible.
Oh, I know.
But I don't care. Fox and go choking a long one, if you know what I'm saying.
Long John. The donut.
Those are delicious.
Yeah. Well, I don't like the ones that are filled with cream and stuff.
That's what makes a Long John a wonderful Long John, and you're weird.
No, it's like the ones that are like a long donut, really. I mean,
you know what I like?
I don't like
donuts
I don't
and
like
pudding.
I don't like cream filling.
Oh my God. I love donuts and I love pudding. You put them together. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Okay.
My tummy didn't get round on its own, mister.
Well, I mean, did you also see that, we might have a it's almost riot season.
Yeah, but why are we gonna have a riot? I heard
Because
Biden just said something
the dude
supposedly
that
her.
fucking died in New York City for being choked out.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. I don't know why. Well, I don't know why people rioted for any of this
Why?
shit, but
Yeah, no, hold on. Because
he wasn't choked
it
out by a
was
cop, Kevin.
there was a bunch of politicians saying it was a lynching.
Look, I don't know exactly. It was an accidental death. Obviously, I don't think the guy was mean to kill him.
He didn't even have that
Um,
much of a chokehold. Looked like.
well, no, but the guy had like I don't know if he was on drugs. I'm assuming he was, or
Well,
had
he's
done drugs.
schizophrenic and a drug addict, so
It's the city's fault.
yeah, absolutely.
That guy's death is on the city's the head. It's their fault. It's New York City's fault that that guy is dead because that guy never should have been in that situation to begin with.
44
One thing,
times.
he's a schizo, so he should have. Well, yeah, he should have been in jail for one. But if he's schizophrenic, he should be in a mental institute getting help. So yeah, that dude's death is 100% on. Well, not just New York City. This whole progressive liberal bullshit about no bond and like
Catch and release, basically.
yeah, like it's your fault. You want to point your finger right at you, libtards.
But yeah, no, there was people saying like on on Twitter that the week before he was trying to push people onto the subway tracks. Like he was psychotic. And I think he was trying to go to jail because he was yelling he was hungry and he was thirsty and he wanted to go back to jail. So
well, yeah, and if if he was actually a schizophrenic, they can't. A schizophrenic, I'm sure there's plenty of degrees of it, but
well, I think there should
my
be
understanding, most homeless people are schizophrenic because they don't take their medicine, so they can't deal with reality. So,
well, that's why I think we should bring back fucking mental fucking institutions.
Yeah, a lot of Bellevues.
Yeah, and I think people, if they aren't, think people should be committed, you know, against their will if they're schizophrenic and trying to harm others or themselves.
Yeah, there's plenty of evidence. Like, I mean, it's a joke. I mean, then they'll turn around and bitch about, oh, it's this or that. And nope, cops aren't going to do anything. Cops aren't going to stop them. Why would they? They're just going to be demonized for it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think New York City really has that many cops. I mean, I don't understand. This is weird because between Giuliani and Bloomberg, the city was running pretty smooth. And I'm not even a big fan of
Bloomberg was a fucking weirdo, but he was kind of a nanny state, kind of, you can only have so big size of cola because we got the diabetes. But the city really wasn't doing bad under him.
No.
He just put in weird shit.
Then de Blasio and Adams, and all of a sudden the subway's like it's 1970s when it was a garbage city. And it's becoming
that's why I don't feel sorry for the citizens of New York that are dealing with this shit because you voted for it.
Exactly. And, this is the problem with fucking Democrats is they want to blame everybody else when they just keep creating problems themselves. And I'm not talking about the people getting elected. They're telling people what they're going to do. And the people somehow think, for the fifth time, this might work.
Yeah.
It never does.
The people voting for this shit are the ones that fall.
God, that's why I want to bring back the R word, and it's not because of that's
ridiculousness.
If you can't learn from your mistakes, why do you keep fucking doing it? You're fucking stupid.
That's the definition of insanity, Kevin.
Exactly, and this is happening to all these fucking cities. This is what's happening in San Francisco. San Francisco is a fucking cesspool. This is what's happening in Chicago. Chicago doesn't have a Walmart anymore because they can't make money in Chicago. San Francisco, they don't have a Walgreens or a Walmart. These cities are just destroying themselves and they act like it's fine. And they don't understand why people are moving out. Eric Adams in New York is like, hey, we're going to make this city safe again. As people are getting pushed off subway tracks and stabbed in the subway and killed for no reason, they just let them out.
I guess I can see people thinking that dude might have actually done something because he was an ex-cop. But here's a reality check for you. I don't care who they are or what they did. If the dipshit running for office right now in this day and age has a D behind their name, things aren't going to get better.
Well, you saw this, the DA in St. Louis had to resign because she was getting so much shit.
For being a horrible DA.
She was a fucking Soros back DA.
Oh, she's a piece of shit.
Yeah, so she's just letting criminals out and people got tired of it. So what they're going to do is probably re-elect a fucking Soros back DA because they're stupid.
No, I'm sure. I mean, it'll be nice to see them change, but that doesn't seem to be the pattern.
There's got to be a PSA somewhere in those fucking rants we had.
That whole rant's a PSA, Kevin.
Yeah. More you fucking know.
The more you motherfucking know.
I don't know. Do you have anything else? I was going to talk about a couple other things, but what was the thing we might do an episode on?
Oh, Biden.
Oh, the corruption, or
yeah, like, well, kind of like the discussing, and then we'll know more later when we do the episode. But kind of has to do with
the
his
whistleblower
pay to play thing on the whistleblower, but then also the less reaction to what the Republicans are doing.
Yeah,
there's kind of a
maybe we'll do that next week. I don't know.
Look at this over here. Look at that over there.
It's your pick next week, so
that's right. We're gonna do what I want. It might be on the best ways to make salted butter.
The salt and butter.
No.
It's
salt and heavy whipping cream. The fuck? Oh wait, that's how you make whipped cream. Never mind. I don't know how to make butter. I think it has to do with cream.
You just churn. Yeah, it's milk.
It's salt
and cream. I don't know. Shit.
We're talking about making butter. Let's just stop. Let's just stop it.
All right, we should be done. Yep. I guess that's it, because if you go into making butter, you got to stop an episode.
That's what it's time to.
That's the law. So, yeah, let's end this. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Josh.
And this was The Lost Art of Common Sense.
Common sense?
Common sense.
Common sense. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Woo!